Hello, everyone. My name is Megan Cody, and I'm the Family Engagement Initiative Lead at the National Center on Deafblindness. With me today is my colleague, Myrna Medina, who is the Family Engagement Specialist for California Deafblind Services. We're excited to be able to share with you today the work of the Deafblind TA Network around enhancing our culturally responsive practices. And now I'm going to pass it over to Myrna.
Thank you, Megan. The National Prevention Information Network says that culture refers to integrated patterns of human behavior that include the language, thoughts, communication, actions, customs, beliefs, values, and institutions of racial, ethnic, religious, and social groups. Competence is a capacity to function effectively within the context of cultural beliefs, behaviors, and needs presented by individuals and their communities. Also, the National Prevention Information Network says that cultural competence is a set of behaviors, attitudes, and policies in a system, agency, or among professionals that enables effective work in cross-cultural situations. So the agenda today, we'll be talking about the network, about the Deafblind Network cultural competence work that we have done and how it was created, what the group has accomplished over the past 2+ years, the lessons learned, the outcomes, and next steps. Also, I'll be talking about the California Deafblind Services Network of Family Support Providers.
So the National Center on Deafblindness, as well as the state deafblind projects, are required to do a national child count. So the states do their data and then they send it to the National Center and we compile it and make one national child count. And the slide that's up right now shows our 2019 National Deafblind Child Count data broken down by race and ethnicity. And what this data showed us is that certain races are under-identified and at a later age compared to other population data sets, specifically Hispanic, Latino, and Asian populations. So the Cultural Competency Work Group decided to initially focus our work on the Hispanic Latino population. So who was involved and is still involved in this work are the following state deafblind projects: Arkansas, Arizona, California, Florida, and the US Virgin Islands, the New England Consortium, New York, Texas, and the National Center on Deafblindness. The reason that we engaged in this work was to begin to build successful strategies to increase child find and referral, and also better serve families from culturally and linguistically diverse groups. And as I mentioned previously, for our pilot, we initially began focusing our work on Hispanic-speaking populations. So the commitments of the work group had 5 different stages. The first was exploration, followed by training, and then engagement, population, and then child find. The purpose of the exploration phase was to assess and prioritize the needs of the population and to evaluate internal project capacity to meet the needs, and then to identify state systems and agency partners who are already engaging in the work, and to formalize partnerships to better serve families at the local, state, and national levels. Training to date, we have organized a 3-part training series for all state deafblind projects on cultural competence. The national webinar series includes a part 1 that talks about the implications of cultural bias and population data on the provision of TA. Part 2 was supporting families from a variety of cultures. And part 3 was talked about parent advisory councils and how to set up cultural ambassador programs. We also hosted a reverse immersion webinar for the Deafblind TA Network to help gain perspective on the challenges and barriers families that speak Spanish face in navigating services and supports. With engagement, our work group has been meeting regularly to define processes that state deafblind projects can use to examine their culturally responsive practices. So each state has created their own state action plan and has been working to redefine and implement the plan across the last 2+ years. The result of all of our cumulative work was a process for state deafblind projects to begin to follow if they are interested in examining this work, which the link to the page that exists on the NCDB website is linked here at the bottom of our presentation. Now I'm going to pass it over to Myrna.
Thank you, Megan. And I'll be talking about the partnership with families and capacity building of California Deafblind Services. And we called this project the California Deafblind Services Network of Family Support Providers, or FSPs. You'll be hearing me say FSPs for short. And now you know that it's the Family Support Provider Group. So when California Deafblind Services started thinking about creating something that can help us provide support to families, we had to really sit down and have a reality check. And you see in this picture of California map on your left, and the things that we in our reality check thought about. Well, California is a large state, geographically, by population and diversity. Very diverse, California is. So, and the truth is that California has limited staff and limited budget. So when we, like I said, when we started thinking about this, we thought, well, there must be something out there that we don't need to reinvent the wheel. So we did a lot of brainstorming, how to develop this family support system to ensure that the deafblind community continue to be served, how to meet a grand objective of building local capacity, and most importantly, how not to reinvent the wheel, something that it was out there already. So when we started planning for this, we had to propose this to agencies out there. So we had to identify the existing support systems through the family resource centers, the PTIs, or Parent Training Information Centers, CPRC, the Center Parent Resource Centers, and FECs, short for Family Empowerment Centers. We had to write the description of CDB services, the description of the network of family support provider. That was our project, their role, and the purpose. So when we came out and thought that about this, that we had to present it to these agencies, and they had to be something that it was in for FRCs and something for us, some gains that we needed to say. So for the FRCs, the CDBS will help with the FSP identification. It was something that we had to reach out to the families that we have served and see who we thought they were ready to step up and become a support provider. So we specialize training on deafblindness. We training the FSPs, parent involvement, and offer the statewide training to FRC networks. So that was in for the FRCs. And for us as a California State Deafblind Project, we working to meet our grand objective by increasing local capacity. No need to recreate a network that, like I said, and it was already in existence. We were going to share resources, and we had some anticipated outcomes through this project. Was early identification and referral, family engagement, and outreach to underserved communities. The purpose all along was to provide parent-to-parent support, provide training on topics specific to deafblindness, provide linkages to relevant resources, increase local capacity, early identification and referral, and outreach to underserved families. Has every I believe every single project, it has obstacles and setbacks, and it was no different this time. So we had those, and some of them were not understanding how the FRC system worked. And that's, the families knew that they were in existence, but they really didn't know how they work or, how they function. And understanding the FSP role and purpose, the FRCs didn't understand what, deafblindness. They have, information, but very, very limited. And understanding CDBS services. So it was a lot of work to be done. And, we were like, doing baby steps and the connection and linkages to FRCs between CDBS and the FSPs and the families. So how do we tackle the obstacles? Well, through the FRCs. So for the FRCs, we provided training to their staff, and we provided resources. We found out, getting to know these agencies closer, we knew that they had very limited information on deafblindness, and nonetheless have no information on California Deafblind Services. So we provided, lots of resources to them, and did some trainings to their staff. We presented to the statewide the statewide Family Resource Center Network Conference on topics related to deafblindness. And we offer and still offer continued support to the family resource centers. For the FSPs, or the family support providers, we conducted focus groups with the purpose of identifying FSP, the perception of their role, determine FSP skills needed to provide successful support, identify family needs to improve their life, the life of their children with deafblindness. So when can you advance, Megan? And when we did the focus groups, we created like an agenda, and we said, well, we're gonna see what the FSPs understand. So we really tackled the perception of their roles, how they could offer support, mentor and advocate, and offer information, resource, and referral. So the FSP needs, during this focus group results were that they needed some mentorship and advocacy skills, cultural competence, grief and loss coping strategies, collaboration, active listening skills, how to create boundaries, and information and resources and referral skills. So we were faced to a lot of work because, the families were specialized in their kids, and, they were helping already other families. But in order to have this more formal group, we needed to present them with training about these topics. So the family, this needs were to become a family support provider, but they had their own needs. So the family needs were to learn more about IDEA, about advocacy and empowerment, social emotional support, disability specific, related services, how to navigate the system, other systems, and resources. So like I said, we were doing a lot of baby steps. And I think the first, I have to say that when we began this work, it was a lot of building that relationship, between the family support provider group, because we always provided information, but we were asking them to do something. So it's like, what is it that I gained through this? So it was very intensive building that relationship. So, and it took a while. It didn't happen from one day to the next. It took time. When we started this group, was back in early 2000s, and that's way before our cultural competence group was created. So one of the trainings these are some of the trainings that we have provided to the family support provider group, and also offered to other families, not specific to the FSPs, but we also invite other families that can, would like to participate. So this just a few of them, like in 18 years or 17 years plus, and we try to do as much as we can to provide the knowledge and skills to the families that are out there supporting other families. So so these are some of the trainings. Okay, so what is it that when we, okay, so now that we have this this group and this family, this network. What is it that exactly it is? Well, it's a volunteer family members who link to their local family-to-family support networks of their local FRCs, FECs, PTIs, and CPRCs. And I'll go back to say what they are. The FRCs are family resource centers. FECs is family empowerment centers. PTIs, it's parent training information centers, and community parent resource centers. So this network of family support providers, they had to link with they go out and link with their PTIs and say, here, I'm part of this network and I have information on that blindness. So it was some work that we asked for them, but in return we did some trainings for them. So it's a family-to-family support training through their respective agencies or by us. Like I said, we provided that, or if the FRC or the PTIs, they had trainings, they could invite our group too. Ongoing on-site and distance support on topics identified by FSPs. We do a lot of yearly needs assessment to see what exactly the needs are in order to continue to be a successful support provider. Local resource to respective agencies on issues specific to their blindness. We really encourage them to keep spreading the word on their blindness and provide resources to the families and agencies that are in need. So the highlights of this group are, at this time, and these numbers have changed through the years. We started with a large amount and then it went down for various reasons. So we are a total of 24 active FSPs throughout the state. And the FSP group is very diverse, culturally, by age or of their son or daughter, and etiology or diagnosis. Each of them has a different expertise, but each and every one shared similarities and definitely has one in common. They are parents, family members of an individual who is deafblind. FSPs are natural leaders, family and community. Some of them have created and facilitated their own parent support group and partnered with already established Spanish-speaking groups to fulfill community needs. I'm so happy to say that the FSPs or this group, they have been become so empowered that they have the confidence to lead their own support groups, and they reach out to other agencies and invite them, and they have grown so much that at one point we wanted to change this family support provider name to Family Leadership Initiative. So I'm so happy that they have become very knowledgeable in this topic. So FSP provide parent-to-parent support by sharing information face-to-face via telephone or social media. And FSPs are ready to learn and expand their knowledge for their own benefit and to support others. So in this picture, you see a California map with different colors, and every color is a county in the state. And you see arrows that point at the counties where we have FSP representation. So my dream, hopefully in the near future, is to have one family support provider representing all the counties in the state. So that's, I'm still hopeful for that, and hopefully that, sometimes happen. So the next slide, please. So the next steps for our group is to continue to conduct this assessment, to respond to findings, to check in timely manner with them, keep communication lines open. That's always a plus sign for us, because we just don't wait until our meeting time. We have established this line of communication, social media, via email or text that, sometimes they're, they found, they encounter something that they need resources, and they can easily reach out to, any of us, and we're here to support. We support FSPs, like I said, all the time. If they need resources in a particular topic, we're always there to support them in order to be effective support providers. We collaborate with them. For example, if in their own groups or in their family resource center or PTIs, they need someone regarding deaf blindness to come and do a presentation, or vice versa. If we have ever encountered request of come and present on specific topic, we reach out to them and say, if we know that they have expertise, and they can co-present with us. So we have done a lot of those in the past, and they were great because their parents sharing with other parents and professionals. So I'm really happy to report that. And we always in the lookout. We would like to recruit FSPs. Like I said, my dream is to fill out every single county in the state and have representation. So there you go. Hopefully we can do that in the near future. So the outcomes for this group is to become better and stronger every time, to support our individual needs. So it's not just to support others, but us as a parents of a child with deaf blindness, we need to be stronger and in order to provide service to our own kid, and to provide parent-to-parent and support, peer-to-peer support, despite culture, background, diagnosis, age, and language. So we're always working hard to become better and stronger group. Create partnership with already established parent organizations. So we really do a lot of outreach and see if the organizations even share our own values, and if they, we try to collaborate with it as much as we can in order to help and support other families and professionals in issues specific to deaf blindness. And to build local capacity by collaborating with already established family networks. So I always like to end my presentation with a very positive, or I think is positive thought. And this one says that a positive family professional relationship can only be developed through mutual respect, ongoing communication, shared goals, and concentrated efforts. We encourage service providers to refine their interpersonal skills, to expand their worldviews, and to work on developing cross-cultural competence. So here is the last picture we took before the pandemic. We were lucky enough to, we try and we really do it, try to meet at least once a year in person. We try to get together all the family support providers in the state. We try to go to where the concentration is, and we beat Northern California. Southern California has more FSPs than Northern California, so they're lucky. The Northern California FSPs are lucky to travel to Southern California to meet with us. So this was done like a couple of months before the pandemic broke. So here I am happy to present our family support provider network and family leadership initiative, like I said. Thank you. This was great for us, for Megan and I, to present what we have done as a cultural competence group, and me as a representative of California Deafblind Services, to present you with information on our California Deafblind Services family network of family support providers. Thank you.